an ever-flowing web of creativity, the evolution of music. About music. We all know what music is. It's everywhere on our phones, CDs, radios, cassette tapes, and computers. I mean, you name it. Music is something that most people grow up listening to, from holiday music to orchestral pieces that enchant you. Music is something that is so incredibly diverse that there's something for everyone, regardless of race, sex, background, or culture. It's one of the things that connects and brings millions and billions of people together. Even our ancestors thousands of years ago practiced the art of music with instruments whittled from bone, made with their own hands. An early timeline of music recordings. In the 1870s, Thomas Edison created the phonophone, which recorded audio and played it back through a cylindrical cylinder. Well, design at least. In the 1880s, Emil Berner built off of the phonophone, renaming it the gramophone, which played the audio in the disc form, which later becomes what we know as a record player. And in the 1920s, radio broadcasting kind of begins to emerge, and then in the 1930s, magnetic tapes begin to appear, evolving eventually into what we know as cassette tapes. The beginning of digital music. It is said in the late 1960s, maybe even the early 1970s in Japan, that the first true digital audio recordings were made on a 12-bit device which recorded 30 samples per second. It has advanced over the next decade. And different productions of digital audio producing devices are made. Eventually, in the 1980s, CDs and digital audio taping devices came about, which were popular. However, people kept pushing for a better, more pleasing way of recording and releasing music. By the 90s, the digital audio workstation comes, and it is the beginning of what music is today. So music as we know it. After the invention of the digital audio workstation, or the DAW, the music being made continued to change and advance with the device until it became what it is today. The DAW is used by most all people who record and release music. As music and technology evolved, so did the availability of the technology. And now almost anyone can use it on computers or really anything. Streaming options. When you're streaming music, there's so many possibilities. Some people still prefer record players and others prefer the convenience of streaming services. There are billions of platforms. There are several platforms that hold billions of songs and recordings. While several are free, there are those that do ask for compensation for using their services. There's YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube Music, which is just to name a few. And then for my conclusion, music is all around us. People find inspiration for it anywhere and everywhere. So whether you prefer record players, MP3 players, or the convenience of your phone,